Hey guys, Artosis here, bringing you another cast from the Moonlight Pro League. This is match number 3. If you haven't seen the first two, Hyun vs. Saxry and Ample vs. A15, I suggest you go check those out. But you don't need to be able to watch this one. Here, we're going to have Ruin in the top right. Definitely one of our better up-and-coming Protosses in the world, playing against Motive. It's under the ID Play Angel here. Motive has been super active lately. He hasn't really done anything, but I've seen a lot of his games, and I think he's going to be someone to contend with in 2022. I think he's going to be coming up kind of like Ruin is right now. So looking at this, I would give, Ruin a little bit of the favorite. I think he's in very good shape right now. He's been showing a lot of great games, and you know, normally I don't like PvP that much, but I think on Eclipse it's a really interesting match because it is 2 players. There's not the randomness of how late you scout. You definitely can get a probe in. Also, we've just seen a lot of cool PvPs here, right? You have that ramped third that is definitely something you can take. You have a lot of different attack paths. Obviously, there's ways for shuttles to get in, but they're not like completely broken, I guess. So yeah, I'm hoping that we can have a nice solid PvP here between these two. Now, Motive going to be the first one to scout out across the map. Look over here. Ruin going to grab his gas. Just playing a little bit more economy heavy here. Skipping that scout for now. And I mean, obviously that is something that you can do. You don't have to go out and scout. Of course, you know, a lot of times people scout almost too much, I want to say, for people that are practicing and getting better. It's like it is important to scout and try to figure out what your opponent is doing, but it's also very important to keep your economy really high. There's like a noticeable difference when you scout at different times. Like different buildings are going to fit together better. Sometimes you're not going to have to skip extra workers and things like that. And then, of course, with Protoss, you always have this. The worker can harass even in PvP. That offensive pylon, definitely worth its money. Really important to point out, like the amount of lost mining time, even if he cancels this at the last second, this probe will have lost multiple trips mining. So that's kind of a big deal. It's already paid for itself, and obviously he's going to let that finish. You almost always do. In fact, he's trying to get another one, we can see, but Ruin doing a good job of blocking him from getting it here. He's going to probably swoop it again. I see that probe that just came up. This is good micro that we see from Ruin. He knows that Motive wants to do it, which, you know, the intent is really important. Now, that's how he can tell to kind of micro and get in its way. This probe, oh, a little bit of miss micro. He was gliding it on top of that Zealot and then trying to kind of displace it with the drilling effect, like hitting stop on it. And sometimes you can make the Zealot like bounce around and walk over the pylon, walk over the minerals. Doesn't really work out that time, and he gets a little bit stuck and dies to the Zealot. So Motive, you know, at the end of the day, I think losing the probe is making it worth less than it would have been otherwise. Anyways, not the biggest deal. Goon was going to be coming out anyways. Now, looking over on Motive's side, you know, he went for the offensive pylon, and Ruin did not. So he could actually skip the Zealot. Not that the Zealot is completely worthless. It can tank quite a bit if you're having like goon micro battles early on, but other than that, like it's so easy to micro against the Zealot with Dragoons. So as long as you have a good unit count, you're not really afraid of that. So kind of a nice thing that Motive was able to skip. He is adding a Robo right now. Taking a look over at Ruin's base. Robo as well. This is so popular at the moment, especially on these ramped maps where you just make the Robo near your ramp so you can walk down with those Reavers. See if that's the way he wants to play it. The 2 goons going to push back the single goon very quickly. There is a second goon from Ruin already rallied out into the map. Oh, okay. So Ruin is actually going to be going for 3 gate obs. Yeah, you can't really afford Reaver right off the bat. So this build that we see, it definitely looks to me like he's going to go for a quick observer, make sure he doesn't die to DTs. He's got what's going on, but really heavy on the Dragoons, and that should allow him to at least control the map a bit. Now, this move out from Motive, this could cost him. If you overextend with these 3 Dragoons and lose them, especially when you're sitting here on only a single gateway, you're not going to catch up in that Dragoon count basically ever through the game. So you have to be very careful at that. Now, the goons walk up. They see 3 goons and a Zealot. Obviously, you can't fight that with 3 goons. So he does walk back. That was kind of lucky for him that he gets to see that. And I don't think he'll press anymore. Kind of funny to see him leave these here. He might be just waiting for a scout or to try to get a free volley or 2. But yeah, he's not going to be able to get anything. Okay, I think it's time to pull back. The Nexus is on the way. Oh, look at this. Okay, and Observer's coming up as well. So this probe coming down and seeing the Nexus, I think this will trigger Ruin to attack immediately. The Dragoon actually just kind of walks past that. Reaver Tech is coming. He has the Observer. But you definitely are up in units right now as Ruin. In fact, let's take a look at this, right? So he's got 3 goons there and 4 there in a Zealot. So 7 goons in a Zealot right now against 5 goons. So that's a 2 Dragoon and 1 Zealot advantage. That's 3 units. That's huge. He can absolutely slaughter this with very minimal losses. But the Reaver's about halfway done. So if Motive can buy a little bit of time here, maybe the Reaver can save him. We'll see. Now here comes down the push. Oh God, I think he's gonna have to cancel. But look, he's over near the ramp, so we see him trying to micro here. And you know what? He has another one pop up, and he did get a goon kill. So a little bit sloppy there from Ruin. Maybe there's a chance. Reaver coming out. I think he has to run down. He did end up having to cancel. Too much damage on that Nexus. No real way to save it. Another gate finishes up. Another Reaver on the way. So Motive is not going to die. I guess that's the important thing here, right? Like, not dying is part number 1, but he's definitely getting a little bit behind. We have that Nexus coming up. Reaver Tech is already here for Ruin, making his own Reavers as well. But this, most likely, what we'll see is this will turn into a 2 Reaver Dragoon push from Motive to pressure back onto Ruin. And I think that there's not much else as far as the choice goes for Motive. I think you have to do that. You know you're going to be ahead on Reavers because his Reaver Tech is just later. So, oh my God, a 3rd Reaver? No way. Guys, I have no idea. This is way different than what I was expecting. But okay, a 3rd Reaver. Like, Reavers are so slow. You can't really walk them across the map. And I thought for sure it's like, okay, well, maybe you can micro with the shuttle to push in. But it looks like he has other plans. And look, Ruin even, I think he was fearful of the shuttle, so he's getting his own, because what you see is Reavers, like, outside the natural. A lot of times what will happen is they'll pick up the 2 Reavers, go over to the other player's natural, unload Reavers, shoot at your Reaver, and pick it up as your Reaver shoots, so it doesn't take damage. And if your Reaver blows up quickly from that, you're basically going to lose. So we see that Ruin actually got the shuttle out before, whereas Motive's sitting here now on 3 Reavers. Really interesting play here from Motive. Just totally not what I was expecting. You know, maybe because he didn't have a full scout on, he felt like there was going to just be a massive Dragoon bust, in which case 3 Reavers would have really slaughtered. Either way, he's not down that much as far as workers goes. Right now 3. We're going to see a couple more finish up. Yeah, so maybe he'll be down 3 to 5, but he's got his Reavers. He's got shuttle speed on the way. In fact, both players do have their shuttle speed on the way. A little bit slower there for Ruin, who does have more units overall. But, I mean, the Reavers, I think, make such a big difference. Okay, let's see. Walking out right now. Drops those Reavers off. Yeah, gonna force everything back. Of course, we do have this incoming shuttle of Ruin with his own Reavers. No, just a little bit of jockeying for position. Let's take a look. A pylon out here, a probe out here, a pylon here. So he's kind of trying to spot for incoming drops. Oh, his observer gets picked. Nice pick off there from Motive. Adding a couple more gateways as well. Does have a pylon out here and here to see incoming shuttles and things like that. Observer going up the side. Oh, a little bit brave there for a moment. Doesn't find anything but some damage. Now, speed is done, so I guess it's time to go. That speed shuttle going out, we'll see if it goes all the way around or it cuts through this way, because that does happen sometimes. When you get out of the range of where you know their units are, sometimes you take the shortest path rather than the safest one. So taking a look here, another observer actually flies in, and he's going to get another pick. Wow, Ruin losing a lot of observers this game so far. Reaver's staying at home. Looks like Ruin getting into position here. Maybe a bit of containment going on. Dragoons sitting in anti-drop locations here. You can see 3 up here. You can see 2 in the main base as well, just watching for possible Reaver drops. Okay, it looks like it is time. Trying to push out now with his own Reavers. The Reaver's well positioned from Ruin. It is so hard to walk into the Reavers. The Reaver's so good if they're just kind of sitting there waiting. And there's that juggling I was talking about before. Normally this just results in a lot of missed scarabs, a lot of wasted money. I know that it's only 15 minerals for scarab, but it will add up over time with this. Oh. Okay. Oh! Nope, doesn't hit him still. Okay, here we go. Goes forward and picks the shuttle. Yeah, he ends up getting the shuttle, but those are some pretty big scarab hits. Trying to lure him back into his own reavers here. Seems like Ruin maybe outdid him just slightly there by pulling back in time, but did lose that shuttle, right? So that is an issue. Now he has this reaver on the ground that's not going to do too well. Walks forward, picks that off, and his 4 reavers crawling forward across the map. I don't know if you're going to be able to fight against that. Some slow Zots coming down as well. We actually have reaver damage on the way for Motive. Very interesting to see this upgrade being researched a lot lately. PvP and PvT as well. Sometimes late game Protoss vs Zerg also. Very cool, though, to see this type of thing happening a lot in a 22-year-old game. An upgrade that we almost never saw before is becoming very popular. But hold on. Oh my god, Motive just flew his shuttle with 1 reaver into those Dragoons. He does have 4 more reavers behind, so he's still winning as far as the reaver count goes, but losing that shuttle and reaver is brutal. Now the Dragoons have to walk back. Look at this huge concave of Ruin. He has so much here, but as these reavers come up, you're gonna have a much harder time. Let's take a look how many scarabs he's actually going to be able to connect with. You see Ruin start to run despite having such a large count. Brings in his own reavers now. The scarabs going off like mad. These slow Zods coming up, taking some heat there from the scarabs. Yeah, getting picked off very, very quickly indeed. The 4 reavers really doing insane damage here with that plus 25, but his army will be cleaned up. The combination of the concave as well as the reavers and shuttles coming over for Ruin, doing its magic. Whew, okay, let's try to take stock of where we're at. Motive is actually up by 5 workers now, so definitely we had some worker cutting over on Ruin's side. We have 1 robo and 6 gateways. We have Citadel on the way. 6 gates, 1 robo, Citadel done, and Templar archives on the way, plus 1 also coming for both sides, but further along for Ruin. 3rd nexus finishing here from Motive. Okay, so I would say, based purely off the 3rd nexus, that Motive is going to have an advantage if he lives for the next couple minutes. But that is a very important thing, because you can actually see a big supply difference. This is 17 supply ahead for Ruin, but he's also down 6 probes. So that's over 20 army supply advantage, which means if he attacks right now, there's a solid chance he will break him. But we'll see, right? You can see that right now Motive is really spreading out his units. He's got these reavers kind of in the back. Look at this. He's roaming with the observer and goons, trying to pick off an observer. He doesn't want there to be vision down here to help Ruin set up for an attack. Motive knows that right now is the time where he is weakest. He is going to be super strong if he doesn't get punished for this quick 3rd base. All right, more Dragoons coming out. The speed shuttle here as well. Another shuttle with 2 reavers coming down for Ruin. Is Ruin going to dive in for a drop? This could be a huge moment right now. We actually have a push going at the same time. Yeah, turns around with this shuttle and reaver. Okay, so he saved that. Very, very important. Meanwhile, oh god, what are we doing? No. And he loses it with 1 reaver still left inside. Some sloppiness, but there's so many units here for Ruin. He did have that massive supply advantage, and it is starting to pay off. He has Zealot legs now as well as he pushes into this natural. Oh my god, the shuttle almost gets picked off. Does charge up on the shield batteries. Flies behind here, dropping out those reavers. Scarabs coming down. walking up with that reaver. Oh, these dragoons pulling onto the high ground will hold his third base. Is he going to be able to hold his natural as well? Is Motive doing it? Is he pulling together the defense he needs to just have a secured lead? The cannon here definitely helping out immensely, but Zealots coming up, putting a lot of damage on. We see the Reavers coming to help out this expand. Definitely very important. Has a Reaver here in the natural to hit some of these goons, and he is hitting them so well. A ton of damage being put out, but now the probe's starting to pop. Zealots coming. Oh, that charge move was amazing. Oh my god, the double shield battery heal. Those Zealots getting absolutely destroyed. Even picks up against the Reaver Scarab. Oh my god, madness. One does get picked off. This shield battery just paying gigantic dividends here for Motive. And at the end of that, oh my god, I'm like getting lightheaded from this insane battle. At the end of that, Motive is down 3 workers, but has a mining third. Third base is up for Ruin, so he should still be all right. He is running back. High Templars are out. Psystorm going to be a bit stronger than Reavers at this point, so that's definitely very good. But the speed shuttle going up towards this third base. This could be a game-changing moment here. It's been such a back and forth game, but there's nothing up here to defend the probes from this Reaver drop. Oh my god, here we go. Drops a couple Reavers off. Oh, insane Scarab goes off right there. Crazy drop. And you can see suddenly from being down 3 workers to up 5, that was an 8 probe kill. Oh, and even more falling. Beautiful Reaver drops. Looks like this army of Ruin running down. I mean, he'd love to catch this, but I don't think Ruin will allow him to at this point. At the same time, we have a Psystorm drop coming into the third base. Psystorm even more deadly than Scarabs, but kind of whiffing on that one, honestly. Even targeting down the shuttle, that was a brilliant move, I have to say. Wow. Like, that's awesome that he was able to target it down, because now he doesn't have to worry about storm drops for a while. That storm drop didn't do what he was looking for. And now I want to say that Motive is just ahead. He does have his own High Templars coming out, which is really important. High Templars kind of counter Reavers. It's like really hard to micro them in it because they can't run out from it, and it also can kill the shuttles really quickly that pick them up to get them out. So yeah, Psystorm going to be very strong against those Reavers. Coming down now is Ruin. Down 8 workers right now, but does have a very strong army. Kind of similar as far as army supply goes. More High Templars for Ruin, I believe, though. Right, down he comes. By the way, terrible probe saturation here. Oversaturated, and yeah, just not a lot of workers for him. Now, here we go. Coming in a concave down here. That's a great Psystorm. Units getting a little bit clogged up there. More Psystorms coming down all over these Dragoons. Send some Zealots up into the third, but that means those aren't helping his main army. I think Ruin's in some serious trouble here. These Zealots, I don't know if they're going to get enough damage done to pay for the army he's losing, to not have them there to help out the Dragoons. So it seems like he is going to be able to pick these all off. The remaining Dragoons of Ruin are trying to flee. The Zealots splitting themselves up, seeing what else they can get done, but honestly, it's not very much. And now Ruin is running on fumes. His economy, very, very weak. His army, very, very weak. Yeah, he just doesn't have anything going on. So we're on 8 gates, just pumping out Zealot, High Templar. That's kind of the way to do it, right? Psystorm, Archon, Zealot is about it, especially in these low econ situations. But we simply have a better economy for a longer time here for Motive. And you can see that reflected in the supplies. He's up 50% as far as the supply goes, which in a mirror matchup is just absurd. A little bit of harassment going off with these Reavers. High Templars waiting at the natural. Okay. Let's see. I mean, I think you have to get basically the best Psystorms ever here to win as Ruin. Like, if every Psystorm he casts lands awesomely, I could see him maybe holding on against this army. Like, maybe trading just about even. But that's really hard. Like, he needs to just destroy those Reavers so quickly. Now, oh my god. That storm drop. Just insanity. Okay, well, here we go. Goes forward. Storms starting to come out. The storms are decent. Trying to make an Archon here, but that's not going to end up working out. That Storm was totally awesome. Staying out of range of the Scarabs as much as is possible. Really good decision-making there. Another great Storm. Reaver taking a ton of damage, runs up this ramp, but there's almost nothing left over here. I think that's going to be it, guys. Ruin with basically nothing left. Walking out here, there is an Observer, so even these DTs that were snuck into the composition, not going to be enough to break through. And yeah, really, truly nothing left for Ruin now. GG, Motive wins the game.